Yo, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing good. My name is Matt. I'm the CEO of Warp and Racer Club Labs. And what I wanted to bring you through today is a little presentation on Racer Club, just to give you a bit more further updates as to what's going on, and also what our plans are. And I might give you, well, I will today, not might. We'll give you a snippet into our development handbook as well, and what we've been doing to ensure that the onboarding process for the first 800 racer clubs is going to be neat, tidy, and really, really beneficial to the managers. Okay, which is a new category we've kind of come up with to ensure that the game is divided very, very well. So let's get straight into it. Okay, guys. Well, we all know today the problem with P2Es. I'm not going to repeat myself here again, but they are not friendly whatsoever. I mean, I can tell you a story basically from my own perspective, as a founder in Web3, as well as a gamer for FIFA and Forza. I've been doing it since the 90s, right? And I can't make the switch to P2Es. I've tried so many games out there, Axie, Rev Racing, even Sandbox, Decentraland, and just not appetizing for what I feel like. It doesn't feel good. And I don't have people watching it as well. I can't bring in my friends. I can't tell them about it. So to me, that's where I think the biggest flaws is right now with P2E games. Okay, they're not enticing for friends to come in. They're not encouraging for people to expand their circle out there. So it's all about me, and how to earn. So I'd rather something different, and that's actually why we came up and did what we did. Okay, and it's evident there, because if you look at something here, this is one of the things I want to bring to your attention. We've got on the left side a chart showing players and fans for Web3 games, so Axie, Decentraland, all combined in from metaverses to games. And then on the right side, you have esports, which is hugely growing. It's still a very, very early stage industry right now, but it's getting really, really popular. In fact, the Olympics has recognized it as well. And, there's going to be teams that are going to go to the Olympics and try to win medals as well. So on the left, you've got P2E, and they're right now with players, you've got about 3 million players in P2E. And once again, that number is not really real. I don't think so as well. I think there's much lesser than that there, to be honest. But you can get up to probably 3 million players. And then fans, under 100. Like, there's literally no one watching these people. Like, no one is cheering someone in Axie to say, hey, let's go, Team Axie, team. No one's doing that. No one's going to Sandbox and cheering someone on. So you don't have actual real fans and spectators as well. So your market is pretty small, and that's how it condenses itself. With esports, however, you got games like Dota's League of Legends, all those out there, which people are playing competitively. So they want to be better. They want to do better. And then you've got the other side, which is fans. People actually support these teams because they go, oh, that player, he's won that tournament, or he's done really well here, or, I want to be on his team, or whatever. You got that sort of mentality and that culture of camaraderie and team. So that's important here, I think. That's why I want to illustrate this gap to you right now, what we've got. So Racer Club, and this is a very, very high level overview of Racer Club and what we intend to do. Essentially, we want to bring P2E racing and esports closer together. And how do we do that? We're going to use this formula, this proven formula that works, we know, for years and years since the old days on teams. Okay, so how we encourage teams. Like, for example, in soccer, you've got, leagues, and you've got, A-League, you got Serie A, you got La Liga, you got Premier League, you got all that sort of stuff. F1 as well, similarly, you've got different motorsport teams out there. You got Ferrari, you got, Lamborghini, you've got, et cetera, et cetera. And what that does is it creates fandom, okay? It creates this ability for spectators to connect with the actual professionals and the players. And that uplifts the game and the team in total. So Racer Club is going to be the first one out there. Like, all the P2Es out there, I've seen it, I've tested it. Yes, some of them might have, some sort of team thing or some sort of little small offering, but no one offers a club format kind of approach where it's all about the club. It's all about the players. It's all about the community. The tokens even is by the club. The NFTs are by the club. So it's not our game NFTs and our game token. It's about the community. So this is totally flipping the switch on how P2Es are done. And from that, there we believe that this will build really, really long-term loyalty and utility as well for the existing NFT guys. But more importantly, builds fandom, builds camaraderie, builds encouragement that, hey, this could be an esports alternative in Web3, where the small guys or the guys that are playing every day by themselves can also earn, but also you can earn as a team. You can represent your club and things like that. Okay, so this is where we want to ensure and make it totally clear that Racer Club is not going to be doing your stock standard P2E game. It is a game that is all about the community and all about bridging us into the long-term sphere of esports. And esports, we know, is the beginning, but it's the beginning of something that is going to come really, really big. And if we miss this opportunity here, I believe that the gap is going to continue to keep going further. So this is why we're doing other things like Warp as well, our company. We are working with universities in Australia to start with, and Esports Australia, to have these lounges, esports lounges on campus at universities. And we've got right now targeted 3 campuses in Australia, in Melbourne, with a plan for a 41 rollout across Australia. Now, that esports lounge will be, there'll be a LAN area, there'll be a area for consoles, Xbox, PlayStation. There'll also be an area for racing simulators, and that's where we can embed the Racer Club in there as well. And then there'll be a nice bar area, lounge area where people can mix their own drinks and order drinks. And we've done a partnership deal with a public listed company. I'm going to name it right now, but they're in the food and beverage industry, and they've got like chicken wings and all sorts of other cool things that you can eat in the bar as well. So we want to create an atmosphere where the students or the universities, that the ones that are going to be the future of where we are heading, they're going to take part in this role in esports, and we're going to offer them through these esports lounges. Now, similarly as well, we've got plenty of partners in the NFT space, and the audience, because now we're not just talking about the players, we've got spectators, we've got fans, we've got students, we've got patrons. So the audience is going to be massively wide, okay? So helping these other Web3 companies will be much easier and will help our overall goal of what we want to do and accomplish in the space as far as Warp is concerned. So yeah, that's to us, that's our nutshell of what Racer Club is. And I just want to go through on a little bit more further and show you the market as well. And I think there's a hugely untapped market in the esports side, and that's why we're focusing on that as well. So our target market, as you've seen before, is 2,500 clubs in total. We want to form 2,000 separate racer clubs. And currently in the market, there's 80,000 NFT projects. And that's a hell of a lot of projects out there. A lot of them are rugs. A lot of them are, idle. A lot of them, some of them are good. There's probably a really core 5,000 to 8,000 projects that are active, that are still going on there. So if we talk about what our actual market is, yes, the overall is 80,000, but it's a bit more smaller as far as activity is concerned. But we believe through this offering here, or through this instant plug game utility that NFT projects can do right now, we're going to wake up a lot of projects, because it's not just about the founders, it's about the community as well. So the OG community holders, or the whales in those communities, they would have all these access NFTs sitting in their wallet doing nothing. So guess what? Now they can start their own racer club. And we've done this in a really cool way. I'm going to show you over the next slides how someone can form and start a racer club, and what those people are called and how do they do it. And then you've got the player side as well. And then you've got the spectators and the fan side as well. Okay. So I just want to illustrate here that the market opportunity for us is massive. Okay. If we get this right, if we launch it right, if we've got the right audience in, if you've got right players in it, everyone's engaging in, we can actually bridge ourselves to the wider esports market. And that's what it's about. Like, imagine Racer Club Labs in 2028 or whatever, whenever the next Olympics is, represented there, as a ultimate racing players that were born out from Racer Club. Okay, that's the sort of goals we're looking for in what we want to build. We're not intending to build a hyped up, ICO kind of launch or IGO kind of launch project. We want to make sure that from fundamental origins, the player base, we are solid. We've got the right people in, we've right managers in, and it's taking the right curves because without utility to us anyway, in the token's worth nothing. So yeah, that's our point. And with the design of what we've done is make it so simple where anyone can partake in it, because today a lot of convoluted roadmaps, a lot of convoluted promises with utilities can't be fulfilled. We just thought we'd keep it nice and simple for everyone so that we worry about most of the stuff here. The community can participate in it quite easily. This is our traction till date. So we've got right now about properly signed up 170 NFT projects. We've got heaps more, hundreds more on the fence. Now, they're on the fence, meaning they want to see the project first, or they're thinking about it, or they're too busy, so that's fine. We know that, and this is only done from a couple of tweets. We have not actually gone to market live with any proper marketing or press releases or anything about Racer Club yet. So we know that once we go there, that first objective of what we want to do, which is 800 clubs in total, is quite, we can get there. That's not a problem. We ourselves got our own 2 projects that we sold out of, the ToastPunk community. And we are very, very proud of that there, because, we've built such a community that is so strong that by themselves, they go out there, they keep building the project, they keep talking about the project, they understand the utilities of the project. They know that, the NFTs is a long-term, not a short-term flipping kind of arrangement. I think we barely got any flippers left into our project. They're all like strong diamond holders. So, I mean, the goal from here is basically once we get this utility out for them, plus all the others that we're doing as well, this will encourage, obviously, the demand from the project. And that's what I want to achieve. I want to achieve demand. I don't want to achieve false market making or anything in NFT projects. I rather make it be about the demand or the actual people wanting to be part of the community there. So just want to say thank you to those guys there in the ToastPunk community. But yeah, we've amassed about a 75,000 community member base on Twitter and Discord and a few others. And we've made really, really close connections with about 100 key opinion leader partners out there. They're all verified blue tick as well. They all got their own specific communities they deal with. Some with alpha groups, some with big spaces groups, some with big discords, some in big collections, etc. So, it ranges from so many things out there, and they're always just a message away when we want to talk, and they always answer my messages. I always answer their messages as well. And I believe that with this sort of strength of unity here, that if we understand together what it's about and move forward, it's going to be a great times ahead, I think. So yeah, this is kind of like a, I know it looks really, really crazy. I'm going to move my screen a little bit here so you can see it. But this is out from our handbook, our development handbook. So it's something that is quite detailed. And this is one of the thousands of pages we have in our development handbook. But I want to bring this up here because I want to show you the savings or the cost savings we deliver out to founders or projects out there that want to start their own game. Okay, and trust us, trust me here. I'm telling you, starting your own game is not easy. Like, you can see other side has collected 350 million, and they still have not come close to actually delivering anything there. And I feel that I know what their problems are behind the scenes. An open metaverse is super difficult, because an open metaverse, you got so many different angles of things that you can do within that. Yes, it's great, it's awesome, right? It's open, but without defined rules, you're gonna have an issue with defining what you can. What are you going to provide with players there? How they're going to earn, or how they're going to be rewarded? How your land banks going to be formed, other than just the sale of the NFT and on OpenSea and things like that. So I don't think that's more about the game, and that's why our focus has been so much about the game, and that's why we're taking our time and doing it right, because to us it is really, really about the game and how we structure that game format for the participants, right? So this particular road here, you can see, it shows you there's 8 steps normally in a game development cycle, okay? So it starts off with concept, it goes to pre-production, it goes to pre-alpha, alpha, beta, it goes live, then there's maintenance, then there's updates, then there's, post-production sort of stuff. So this is a full, proper, 8-step, if any game developer wants to take, and it can cost you anywhere from, a low quality game, maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, all the way to 5 to 10 to 15 to your EA Sports kind of crazy kind of level kind of game. Okay, so the cost there is massive, right? And what we've done is essentially we've done the hard yard. So we know that this is the roadmap we will take as specialist game developers, and we'll go through this. But we know that people out there are going to have all these troubles. So we then managed to figure out a way how to cut out 5 of these steps. In particular, the concept, we don't have to think of one, okay? Because Racer Club is there. The defined rules of each track, level, player times, type of players, rewards, all that sort of stuff is all thought for you already. It's there. And yeah, some people go, oh, you know what? I just want to follow one way. You know what? Every other club is going to follow this way. So when you've got a format of where rules are there for you to understand, it's actually much better. Because you don't have an open metaverse versus sandbox, like how Sandbox and Decentraland and all are doing it. You have a game that it follows a particular rules. So that's what we're creating. It's like, I've used this example many times before. It's like soccer. You've got a soccer field, you've got 2 goal posts, you've got 11 players aside, you've got different positions, you've got time for each half, you got break. So all that sort of stuff is what we'll configure as a game. Now, the club itself can configure their own things, such as the characters of the players, the tracks, the environment, right? And once again, we've done this in a way where, yes, it's there for you. We know that you need to configure. Now, there's still parts to be done. However, we've made it easy for you to do. For example, if you look at the step 3 to 4, the purple ones highlighted right here, and I'll hover over it. So when you create a club, when you create a club, we go through this production assembly that have right now in our back end, and that allows you to create 2 to 6 tracks. So depending on the type of club you're starting, there's some clubs that have 2 tracks and some clubs have 6 tracks, and that's based on the Game Pack NFT. I'll go into that in a second. So you would use a builder kit, and a builder kit is basically like a Lego, okay? You take a track, you piece it all together, you piece corners, you piece loop-de-loops, you piece whatever you want. But the defined length of that track is there for level 2. The defined length of level 3 is there. The defined length for 4, 5, 6, all there. So it becomes bigger and better, but you just piece it together as a manager. Now, for the first 800 clubs, we're going to be doing that for them to make it easier, okay? So that you don't have to worry about that. But the builder will be there. You will see everything in a step-by-step sort of when you're getting built. It's all there for you to see. Then you have your 10 base characters that initiates the game. So these are the individual characters of that racer club that belongs to that NFT collection. So it looks familiar from a racer point of view. So, like if you jump into Mario Kart, you've got, Luigi, Mario, Donkey, etc., etc. If you go into CryptoPunks Racer Club, you have your CryptoPunks, maybe your red hair guy, or you have your CryptoPunks, maybe your female version of CryptoPunks. You have your CryptoPunks one-on-one type of style, whatever it might be, right? But that is based on the first 10 CryptoPunks that come in and mint this Game Pack NFT and hold that as what we will call, the term is managers, okay, club managers. And then the third thing that will happen at that point there is the environment. And what I mean by environment is it is the atmosphere of the game. So in the game, you have tracks, you have players, and then you have an environment. The environment is the surroundings in which you race with. It's the world in which you race with, okay? So how we've done it is this. There'll be one environment created per racer club. And that environment will encapsulate all the art styles and format of that particular NFT collection. For example, if it's Goblin Town Racer Club, the surroundings or the atmosphere or the environment of that particular Goblin Town Racer Club will be like, eerie, that goblin kind of style. We might include some of the sounds. We'll include that sort of art style. We'll have, caves. We'll have that. And each track will be named accordingly based on their project as well, okay? But the track size and everything else is the same as every other racer club, right? So that's how the rules are followed. Now, that environment is critical because the environment, having characters by that project, it makes it their own game. It makes it essentially the club's own game. And that's what it is. Like each racer club here will be an individual game that gets used by their community. Any NFT holder of theirs can come in there, choose one of those 10 characters, using those characters, be part of the whole the tournaments and the rewards internally for that club, and it'll be their own. So that's the cool thing about it. And of course, down the track, after the 800 clubs, when something called the Asset Creators Marketplace. So we would take what we do here manually right now for the first 800, because we want to get all of them onboarded and get all the economy started. We would take all of this, what we do, and put it into like some kind of permissionless marketplace where participants can come in. So the manager side and the racer side and the player side as well can come in, and even artists can come in as well and start to create these assets that are not NFTs, but they're assets that are used to be in the game. Okay, so if you go to like Unreal Engine marketplace right now, there's assets you can buy down there. They're called blueprints. You can buy those assets and you can put them in individual games. Okay, for us, this will be our gateway to game upgrade. So as far as customization of players, that's how we'll do it moving forward via the Asset Creators Marketplace. And this is where we want to create the maximum utility for our own utility token later on. Okay, because the payments of that would be using the whatever token we have, which is called the racerclub token, right? Finally, going here again to step 3 and 4, two other things, but one very, very important one is this: the audited contracts or the smart contract. Because this is not just a game; it's a game plus, deployment of tokens via the contract, and each club will have their own ERC20 tokens brought in from NFTX. Okay, it's very, 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 very important that the contracts are audited. Now, to be honest, we are going to go the highest level audit, so with Certic, and we're going to spend lots of money on that there. Now, if you're doing a P2E game by yourself, you probably would not have the chance to do this audit at that high level, because that alone is probably double the cost of actually building the game. And a lot of founders might go, before I do all of that, I want to test my game out first. So from this perspective here, you are getting a high quality AAA full format game using our templates that we already have that are certified, that are certified, audited by Certic. So this is crucial. This is where the big savings come from as well. The double up savings come from. A lot of people think that it's just, like let's create, like, especially from the Web 2 side of things. If you're coming in, you think of creating a game, there's security and all these other things that you don't have to worry about later. In Web 3, you have to probably worry about those things upfront beforehand, because I'm sure you guys heard of like Axie Infinity, Ronin hacks, $600 million. That's the sort of stuff we don't want to happen in our platform, obviously, right? So the way we do that is protect our vulnerabilities. Check out all the loopholes. Make sure that each and every way that a hacker could come in from a point of trying to steal money from these clubs can't happen. Okay, and this will be continually to be looked at all the time. Unfortunate thing though, with the blockchain or with Solidity contracts and things, when you embed them, once it's there, it's there. You can't sort of tweak them, but you can put on patches, but you can't really change your structure. So you want to make sure the core structure, the core framework that we're going to expose, not just ourselves in ToastPunk Genesis Racer Club in the very first game, which is the early access 30-day game, but for all the other 2,499 clubs that come on, that is fully secure, that everyone's going to enjoy their time. We're going to worry more about, how much activity and how much players we can fill in there and how much spectators we can get and how much branding we can get through that, rather than, oh, damn it, we've got hacked, okay? And that's the worst thing ever could happen. It happened to the best of them, Axie Infinity, and various others as well. So this is something that we got to learn from the market and do better. And that's what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to tell you something right now. By shaving all these steps, the improvement as far as, the end product is going to be high level, okay, because it's all going to follow certain rules, certain assets and types of methods that we do things. It's going to be time so effectively. So our assembly line game, basically on the way that we want to do this for each club. So just as a explanation on the parties within here. So you've got managers. Managers are the ones that manage all the clubs, and you've got players. Players are the ones that play the clubs, and you've got spectators, the ones that can watch all these players play these clubs. The importance of the manager is they're going to be offering up the assignment of IP of their NFTs of that particular club. So they're going to say, hey, happy for you to use my NFT here in the game, so that legally we're all fine. When we create that game, we use their name, it's all for their community. They're also going to be the one calling the shots on, the types of, timing when they want to release the game and stuff like that. It's up to them, okay? They also can decide to close the game if they want to. It's up to the managers. Now, why we made it in this way is because we done a really, really cool thing. There's something called the syndicate mint. So each racer club is powered by a GamePack NFT, and that GamePack NFT has 10 slots in there, or 10 syndicate slots, okay, which represents 10 seats for managers. So you got 10 managers per game. Now, all managers need to agree. So once again, we've added a bit of a decentralized kind of DAO format within the GamePack NFT. So all the 10 managers have to agree if they want to do something with that club. For example, if they want to sell that GamePack NFT in total, and don't worry, don't start the game or put it on the market or transfer it to someone else, they all have to agree together. The other cool thing is, from day dot, when they mint that GamePack NFT, it remains staked in a contract. So we hold it as in our custodian vault, okay? So it doesn't go in the ownership address of that person. However, in our custodian vault, it recognizes that their wallet is 1/10 share owner of that GamePack NFT or that club, okay? Now, only when all 10 agrees to give it to one person, and that one person says, I want to unplug from our game servers, then that's fine. They can take that, they can go to third party, go to OpenSea and sell it, do whatever they want, trade it, come back again, and then the next club will be started again. So remember, there's only 2,500 spots in total forever for Racer Club. We may evolve to other chains and things like that. For now, on the Ethereum chain, we know that 2,500 clubs is an amazing starting ground for what it needs, right? And another cool thing is you don't need to have thousands and thousands of players per club. You need to have your best 100, your best 200. And that will give you a super engaged community, a super engaged racing game as well, and a super fun game to watch as well by spectators, right? Obviously, managers, you earn 15%, and I'll go through what happens there in another slide. But yeah, there's benefits for managers, there's benefits for players, there's benefit for spectators as well. And obviously, other people that want to advertise within our ecosystem, they can do the same as well. Cool. So this is essentially the efficiencies we get with Racer Club. I'm sure you can see why it's going to be easy sell out in the market to those that are wanting to start their own games for their own communities. In short, this is an instant plug and play to any projects out there. If you want utility, instantly you can just go boom. Racer Club starts for you. Now the time of this right now, anyway, we estimate it based on our production lines, is 3 to 4 weeks from creation of a club to club being active. That is ridiculous. Okay, now we've maximized the economies of scale. We maximize the way we diversify teams. So each team is departmentalized into different teams. Some do the art, some do the 3D blending part, some doing the integration, some doing the environment. So we simultaneously work that out where it's possible to have 800 clubs onboarded in 3 to 4 weeks, depending on when they start. So we are looking at hopefully around the sort of 100-day period. And that's why we have that game server, the 1% charge per day for the game packs and things like that, okay? That's just for your information there. I dropped something. What was there? Cool. Here's the unit economics. And this is just to show you what happens when someone spends money in each particular club. In this example, I'm going to use MAYC Racer Club. So, this MAYC player, he spent $100 on a pack using the MAYC tokens in MAYC Racer Club. Out of that, $65 goes to a pool kept for player rewards. So, anyone that gets in other games after this, number 1, number 2, number 3, and participation. So, every other player we're looking to give rewards to as well. They will get that pool share of $65 there. Then there's another $15 out of that $100 that goes to a staking pool. So that pool is kept there to continue to grow. And that is paid for those that decide not to withdraw their winnings. So say, for example, you've won $50. It gets auto-staked for 7 days. Okay, so you have to leave it in there for 7 days before you can pull it out. But during that 7 days, whatever that comes through via the staking pool and whatever portion of that you have of that pool, you get those earnings there as well. So your $50 now might become a bit more higher, $50, $55, $60, depending on how many the other participants of each race, okay, and what they're spending in the pack store. Then you got $15 that goes to the managers. Now remember I said before, there's the manager side and there's the player side. The manager is the one that hold the game pack NFTs, the one that responsible for each and every 2,500 game racer clubs, and there's divided into 10. Each game pack has 10 slots for managers, okay? 10 shares in the game pack for managers. So they can have 1, they can have 10 managers, up to them, depending on who wants to be part of it. It's up to their own communities, that's fine. So $15 of each of those goes back to the manager. That's really, really cool, okay? That's instant. It goes straight to them in the MOIC token. Then they can decide what they want to do with it. They can put it back into their own game. They can decide to withdraw for their own profits, whatever they want to do. And then we as a game developer keep $5 as royalty. Now that $5, I'll explain to you where it goes to. It's very, very important because you need to know this. It's yes, we are running a business. Yes, we are running a project. Okay, we are taking the major responsibilities of everything. But I don't want it to seem like we're just going to take all the money and just go, because that's not what it's about. For us, this is sustainability to build a long-term project as well. Okay, so I'll explain to you in a second how that $5 works and where does it go to. So this is our projections of where we're going to hit with our project. Earlier you've seen if you've got 800 clubs and $5,000 a day in their own native tokens is spent. For example, if they've got MOIC, it's going to be $5,000 worth of MOIC tokens being spent by their players. If it's Punk, it's Punk tokens. If it's ToastPunk, it's TP Gen tokens, etc. But our aim is from that 800 clubs to try to get about $5,000 being spent a day there as a normal thing. That's what we expect. And that's 50 players spending $100 a day. So that's not much at all. From our 5%, we get about $73 million a year. Now that seems huge. It is actually decent for a startup or a new project company, and many games out there do not make this sort of money. But just so you know what we're going to do with it, and this is very, very important. We are supporters of Ethereum, okay? We are huge supporters of Ethereum. Without Ethereum, we won't be able to do this game. Without Ethereum, we won't be able to come up with these new contracts, the 721. We're going to name it S, or we'll see whatever we come up with. That's the contract for the syndicate mint for the game servers. So because of that, we are advocates of this ecosystem. And we know that it's going to be a long-term play here with Ethereum and crypto and P2Es as well. So guess what we're going to do with the 721? We're going to reinvest. We're going to reinvest hugely, not just into the game, but also in the chain as well, Ethereum. We're going to start validators ourselves. We're going to do things where it encourages the whole ecosystem on Ethereum as well to get better, basically, for gas efficiencies and things like that. I mean, we've seen it happen right now after the merge, where the chain goes live, the fork happens, and everything goes live, and there's a new token launch, and still there's some issues with gas, as in terms of it going up high in price because of the load. The issue there is validators. There's probably not enough, or there should be more validators that will allow more processing options for transactions to happen during overload times, so that gases can come down. Okay, that's the current one of the issues with Ethereum that we know of, mainnet versus a layer 2, where they're less volume eyes. So we want to support this layer 1, where it eventually will support the layer 2s, okay, and everything else. So we're going straight in the middle. Now, you want to say, I know some of you guys might be Bitcoin maxis or whatever, but the problem with Bitcoin is we can't build on it. Like, it's hard to build a game on it, and that's why we got the biggest alt, Ethereum, on that chain here, and we're supporting it all the way through. So just FYI, although yes, that seems like a lot of money we will make if this all happens right, we are going to be investing a lot of them back into the ecosystem as far as the chain, as far as the community. So, a lot of engagement back out from the actual players itself to come in and start, being part of maybe the development crew, the design crew, and et cetera, and continue to just build our global teams and build what we want to be the very best game out there as far as racing is concerned to bridge esports. So right now, you guys seen us all here. That's Roman, our CTO. He's behind the scenes, works like a lot behind the scenes, managing all the teams. I mean, all of us three have worked with each other for a long, long time. We know each other for a long time. We've built previous projects before in the Web 2 space, Web 3 space. In fact, the Warp business, which we originated from, we all started it. And it's doing really well. It's number 19 top company in Australia as far as startups are concerned. It's one to watch out for 2022. It's a top 5 Australian marketplace right now. So there's a lot of things that we've done right as far as our past businesses are concerned. And all we're doing here is bringing it forward towards Web3. And that's why we wanted to do the ToastPunk projects, launch the DAO, launch all various aspects, take part in projects as well ourselves, be part of different communities, understand what's it about before doing our own. And we feel that the timing right now is spot on right for us to go where we need to go with this here. I mean, Vince's side, he's got $7.7 billion of trade sales under his belt with mergers and acquisitions, trade sales, public listed companies, all sorts of things that he has done. Roman, he's like full on tech understanding of various natures. He's like what we call the brakes of our team. I'm the accelerator, so I keep going, let's go. He's like our brakes. Vince is somewhere in the middle, the hand brakes, the kind of lever, the navigator kind of thing. So as a vehicle format of the core team, even, I think we function really, really well. And that's what excites me a lot about what we do every day. I'm happy and glad that I'm working next to these guys here to deliver this project because, I couldn't choose a better team, to be honest. The ones that I trust especially, right? We do have a lot of strategic partners. We do a lot of advisors, mentors, other team people that help us as well. And we'll continue to evolve and grow. But this is the core crux of who we are and the main guys that are doing it, okay? As far as myself is concerned, I've got 20 years of experience in businesses. I've started them up. I've exited them. I've built them up. Some have failed. Some did really, really well. But what I've learned throughout the way is this. Like, the key importance here is how you lead from the top and how you encourage and cultivate these different spectrums within the business in order for it to work. Because ultimately, we are running a business. We are running a project that is for long term and for that will have abundance of opportunity to keep growing. So for us, it's always about the structure of how we move to scale and how do we move to support the existing qualities out there for everyone else. And that's what I do. I take that out in each and every aspect of the department. So I deep dive all the way through. I like to actually go in nitty gritty. Some people say I'm a micromanager. Yes, I micromanage at the start, but once the scale opportunities are there, that's when my hands are off and I let the managers do what they need to do and the department heads and all that sort of stuff get their things going to grow, because it's so critical that before you tell someone what to do, that you do it yourself. That's always my motto in what I've done, and it's worked tremendously well for me over the past, and this is where we're heading with things as well right now. So yeah, guys, that's it for today. There's a few kerfuffles along the way. I might not edit them. I'll just keep them as bloopers within this video, because I like to go live and just talk straight to everyone else. If you want to make a meeting with us, feel free to scan a QR or this code here, which will book an instant 15-minute meeting or 45-minute meeting with me based on my calendar schedule. Happy to talk with you about Racer Club. Happy to talk with you about if you're a game developer, game designer, if you're a staff member or potential staff member that you want to offer up your services. Let us know. Strategic partners, but also investors. Like, if you want to invest and support the project early on, just let us know. Scan the QR code there and book in. On the left, you will find our white paper on racerclub.game. Now, we've intentionally left that like a very simplified website right now. We don't want to have our game server stuff looking right now, but that will all come and the website will all change to make it look really, really gamey because we are in the gamify space. So yeah, feel free to go on the white paper, check it out. Feel free to book a meeting with me if you want to. And guys, I just want to say thank you again for listening to me blabber on. I hope you have a good one. Peace and be well. Okay, be good, guys. See you later.